Stand easy. I do not congratulate you, gentlemen. You have performed in training precisely as your initial assessments indicated. You have learned that the Air Force exists to destroy the enemy. Why? In order to defend our way of life. But what if our way of life isn't worth defending? Let me be frank, gentlemen, it isn't. So, a second duty calls us to transform it. The process has begun. Some of you may remember a village below this aerodrome. It can serve as an example. Conditions were feudal, degenerate paternalism based on an old-fashioned and outmoded religious faith, ruled with lax complacency. The people were slaves, inefficiently performing unnecessary tasks. All that has changed under the Air Force. But in our cities, worse still exists. Only we have the necessary discipline to save our country. When you reported for training, you were forbidden to correspond or communicate with your parents. You still are. Parents are the past, and the past is bondage. No airman lives in the past. Despise it, nor in the future. Disregard it. The bondage of the future is equally unacceptable if you are to be what we require. Shapers of destiny, gentlemen. A new and more adequate race of men. There are two kinds of future bondage. One, material possessions, which are invariably compensations for inadequacy in the person desiring them. And children. None of us is averse to pleasure. Consequently, sexual intercourse we encourage, but it must not result in children. Our rules are distinct. No airman shall acknowledge his child in the event that the woman refuses to abort. We have the facilities here. The sex, gentlemen, like anything else, when once understood, can be handled easily, naturally, and satisfactorily. But you must remember that it is not your business as members of the Air Force to attach yourselves in any permanent sense to a woman. The thing is neither possible nor desirable. You may roger them, gentlemen, but you may not love them. As airmen, your conduct off duty may, and indeed should, appear wholly irresponsible. You are poised between two annihilations, gentlemen. Birth and death. Warriors of the sky, you will engage in single combat. You, the enemy. Do not expect to live long. Master the present only. Power equals freedom.
Useful hijinks. No! Let's wait for the women. Remote control.
We've got 2,000 in production.
You hesitate?
No, sir. Honored, sir.
This is a unique appointment. As my ADC, you will have access to the highest, most sensitive information.
Yes, sir.
Trust must be absolute. Follow me. You must remember at all times what your duty is. And what is more than your duty, what is the whole purpose of our life.
Which is, sir?
To exercise control. Yes. To be freed from time, Roy. From the past and the future. From shapelessness. Sit yourself down. Now, I want you to study this. And I want you to stay here until I return. Understood?
As I began to understand the elaboration and grandeur of the Air Commander's plans, I realized that we were already equipped to take over the direction of the country whose servants nominally we were. The Air Commander was at the center of a vast organization, and only he could exercise complete and unquestioned control over others who without him would have disputed among themselves for preeminence. It was not long before I became aware that I was being entrusted with secrets that were not shared even with the highest of officials, and my surprise at being selected for such a post was equaled by my determination to show myself worthy. I worked day after day and late into the night, keeping always at the forefront of my mind the aim and certainty of our conspiracy. We seemed to be an organization manifestly entitled by its own discipline, efficiency, and will to assume supreme power. Outside of the Air Force, I could see nothing that was not incompetent or corrupt.
Don't get up! Don't speak. Just refresh the inner man, Roy.
I bloody well going to put a stop to that! Frank, no! Hey, you! Leave her alone! Did I say take a breather? Did I? It's my sister and they were mucking her about! Did I? But I didn't...
I think your new job made you to a sphinx, my darling.
Well, virtually everything I do is classified.
You certainly look very classy. One day I'm going to tell you a secret.
What?
No. I can be discreet too.
Did I say you could take a breather? Well, did I?
No, Roy. The very fact that the murderers of Provost Sergeant Peters are still at large must in itself be an encouragement to disaffection.
The curfew continues, sir.
Oh, absolutely. And these secret meetings, anything further to report there?
Well, they definitely centre on the squire's sister and the late rector's wife.
And our padre continues to attend?
Invariably. They either meet at their cottage under the guise of a sewing circle or fruit bottling, or in the vestry for so-called Bible commentary.
Unhealthy.
Yes, sir, but a few old women gossiping.
Dissident discussion can never be dismissed.
No, sir. Right, sir.
Sir, our sky pilot. Oh, he must be reminded what his duty is. I can't think what's come over him.